Yeah, skibbity, 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 skibbity. Skibbity, skibbity. Skibbity down skis, skibbity, 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 diggity, skibbity, diggity, skibbity down, da da, down, 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 down. Hello, how's it going? How you doing? Are you straddle safe? All of our holes are straddled in a safe place. We're gonna ride it up and down, ride it up and down, yeah. Da 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 dum, 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 da 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 dum, da 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 dum. Da 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 dum dum da da dum da 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 dum da 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 dum 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 da 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 dum. Oh, what up, everybody? What's going on? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Just lowering the music about just a little tad bit, so y'all can be able to hear the music just a little bit, and the voice. Oliver Holes. Sir, your names never fail. Why did you say everybody when it's just me? Because I saw 4 people watching, including yourself, including me. So 2 plus 2 is 2. 2 4 4 2 4 2 2 is 6 6 26 48 69 30 33. So I just saw like the number. I was like, oh, okay. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yay. Only for a little way 4 4. So we're going to talk real quick about a new listing on the New York Stock Exchange, a new IPO that has just been listed publicly and exploded. I feel like it exploded like 700% or above. I'm not too sure, but if you guys have been aware, there has been a news network that has been gradually growing over the past couple of years, and they're very conservative, as you know, but has been growing a following, and it has been exploding in new members, new followers on YouTube and all that. So here's pretty much the breaking news that I'm going to view on the website itself, newsmax.com, and talk about it. So again, welcome back to another short stream with yours truly Lion of all trades, and welcome back to the Lion's Den, where we're going to talk real quick about what happened this morning when Newsmax began live trading on the New York Stock Exchange with the symbol NMAX. Nmax, and yeah, we will talk about that in a bit as far as tariff uncertainties. But yeah, so Newsmax live trading begins on New York Stock Exchange, symbol NMAX. Uh, hey, by the way, show some love to the channel. Hit that like. If you haven't subscribed yet, you already know where the button is at. And yeah, much love to everybody. And thank you for joining for this short stream. So yeah, Newsmax listed. Real news for real people. All right, you can see the banner here posted up in front of the New York Stock Exchange in New York City. And yeah, so Newsmax Inc. initial public offering on the New York Stock Exchange Monday raised a whopping 7.447 billion in market cap, with more than 6 million shares trading hands at, and the stock closing at $83.51 a share. So on Monday, Newsmax Class B common stock began trading on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol NMAX. The stock was slated to open at $10 a share, but opened at $14 a share, and Newsmax successfully raised $75 million in its initial public offering under Regulation A+, as well as $225 million in a private preferred offering, which closed in February. Digital Offering LLC acted as the lead selling agent for the public offering, and investors can buy shares in Newsmax now through their broker. Well, they were able to, right? And of course, it ran for so long, and again, and not only did it close at $83.51 a share, but the the high of the day actually at 6:25 p.m. in after hours trading went as high as $107. So from $14 a share at open, at listing, you're talking about, yeah, you're talking about pretty much 650% in 7.5 hours. Now there's a little bit of a consolidation here, so I wonder, because usually when it comes to IPOs, it would reach a cap. It would reach wherever people will see this go. I don't know, but it would eventually reach a peak, and then from there it would start to descend and start to sell off, people taking profits and all of that, and until there is an exact value of where the stock could be at in the future and where it should trade at later on, probably within the next couple of months or so, and or who knows how strong this stock really is and where the true value lies for Newsmax, as it's still growing and growing at a rate. So about Newsmax here, Newsmax Inc. is a holding company that owns 100% of the equity interests of its operating company, Newsmax Media Inc. Newsmax Media Inc. is the parent company of Newsmax Broadcasting LLC, and a multimedia company that offers Americans independent news. Since its founding in 1998 by Christopher Ruddy, an award-winning journalist, Newsmax has become a go-to place for Americans seeking real news and opinion. Newsmax operates the Newsmax channel, now the fourth highest rated cable news channel according to Nielsen, and available on all major cable systems and OTT platforms. Newsmax media properties reach more than 40 million Americans regularly through the Newsmax channel and its free streaming channel, Newsmax 2, the Newsmax app, and its streaming service, Newsmax Plus, its website, newsmax.com, and publications like Newsmax Magazine. Forbes calling Newsmax a news powerhouse. Last year, the Reuters Institute Global Survey found that Newsmax was one of the top 12 U.S. news brands. Through its media outlets, Newsmax champions a free press, one that provides Americans with balanced coverage, diverse viewpoints, and open debates on the issues affecting our lives. Newsmax is based in Boca Raton, Florida, offices in Washington, D.C., New York City, and was a privately held company headed by its CEO and majority shareholder, Christopher Riley. All right. So that is the news on Newsmax IPO listing. This is quite the extraordinary. I don't even know what to call it, but this was one heck of a rip for the stock. And we'll see what happens tomorrow during pre-market hours, since Newsmax does not, brokerages do not offer Newsmax in the 24-hour markets. Maybe later on in the future. But yeah, for now, this is the result, a successful result, and a company that's near now $8 billion after the stock soared in its New York Stock Exchange debut. Now tariffs, right? So U.S. equities markets end mixed today ahead of reciprocal tariff announcements. So the U.S. benchmark equity indexes ended mixed today ahead of the reciprocal tariffs announcements from the Trump administration this week. This is from MT Newswires, by the way. So President Donald Trump will likely announce an average 15% reciprocal tariffs, adding 9% percentage points to the effective tariff rate after exemptions, Goldman Sachs said in a note to clients. Quote, along with tariffs imposed to date and sectoral tariffs we still expect, this would result in a 15 percentage point total increase, and the investment firm said its previous estimate was a 10 percentage point increase in the effective tariff rate. The Institute of Supply Management's Chicago PMI reading rose to 47.6 in March from 45.5 in February, higher than the expected 45 print in a survey compiled by Bloomberg, but still indicating contraction in the sector. The sub-50 reading matches almost all the other regional manufacturing data already released for March. The National ISM Manufacturing Index for March will be released on Tuesday, tomorrow. Crude oil, if you notice, crude oil actually gaining. It ripped in the morning. It closed up $2.13 to settle at $71.49 per barrel, while May Brent crude, the global benchmark, was last seen up $1.11 to $74.74 after U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to impose secondary tariffs on buyers of Russian oil, as Vladimir Putin, his Russian counterpart, continues to violate a ceasefire agreement with Ukraine brokered by the United States. So, just a mention of oil here, and you can see how it ran up early. As a matter of fact, since I guess we could say after midnight of today, It was at a low of 68.82 and going as high as 71.81 around 12:50 p.m. in the afternoon. And it looks like it is trying to attempt to recover from this consolidation and perhaps try to go for 72 a barrel and above if it continues to go where it's going. And things are heating up, so we'll see what happens here overall. Overall, you can tell here in the larger time frames, what a breakout indeed on the 4 hour. And we have an official golden cross on the 4 hour here. You can see this nice bounce off the 200 EMA along with the 50 EMA crossing over the 200 and that nice golden cross. And you can see the Heikin Ashi candles, which is what you see here, this indicator with all these yellow candles and red candles, and you can see how it had a momentarily came down slightly bearish and then regained and rebounded as those Heikin Ashi, I don't know how to say that, grown bigger in momentum and going to the upside, where oil could possibly continue to break above and probably reach about 72.50 around those levels. So we'll see. If I can go to the daily real quick and see how that would play out. I want to say somewhere around this range, around 72.50 to 73 bucks before this week is over. We'll see if that comes to fruition as tensions are rising even more. This tariff uncertainty that Oliver Holes is talking about. Yeah, futures are looking shakier than Williams' love story. Yeah, I don't think he has what it takes anymore. He don't got it like he used to. Poor guy. The only thing he does now is just answer people's questions and shake in his chair in anxiety and stress. And yeah, I feel like perhaps he should take a break, a month break. Go to Vietnam or something, or go to a country and just relax and probably find a little fling and take all his problems away and come back fresh. Shoot, I mean, so due to that pump in oil, we had the highest gain here on the list with Houston American Energy up, closing at 6.90% in the green at 77 cents. It went as high as 0.7869, a low of 72 cents. So it is, in a way, trying to pick back up. It took a massive drop here since March 18. I don't know whether there was something going on around that time. Not too sure. But it does look like on the 4 hour here that there is a potential rebound where Houston American Energy, along with crude oil, if it continues to rip to the upside, it will eventually follow. And on top of that, there is I want to say there's a slight high short interest. So I'm going to go ahead and check to see what the data says here on Fintel for the short interest. And it says here that there is currently 884,291 shares short interest. The ratio is currently at 1.51 days to cover. The percentage float is at 6.89%. Now, here, moving on to the short shares availability, it's showing that as of 20 hours ago, HUSA has currently, or who knows what the data will present tomorrow morning early, but it currently has 100,000 short shares available. And the cost to borrow for tomorrow at only 0.76%. Kenneth, what's going on, brother? Happy Monday evening. Well, we're almost close to the end of Monday. But yeah, hopefully today everything was good. You had a good Monday. Did you take advantage of any of the moves that took place today? Let us know in the chat. Much love to you. It's always good to see you. And Oliver Holes. GCA, what's up, brother? How you been? We're just currently looking at what's going on with oil. We did just go over right now the explosive listing of Newsmax live trading on the New York Stock Exchange, ticker symbol NMAX, which opened at $14. It was supposed to open at $10 a share, but opened up at $14 a share. Successfully raised $75 million in its initial public offering, as well as $225 million in a private preferred offering, which closed in February. Newsmax closing at $83.51 a share. Imagine that, guys. Imagine that, from 14 bucks to 83.51, and the high pre-market, I mean not pre-market, post-market or after market hours, Newsmax going as high as $107 a share. All right, so I'm gonna go back and look at the stock and how it traded. We'll see it here on the 1 minute chart. If you can imagine, this was definitely something that I wish I would have been a part of, and I would have known, because Newsmax has been growing for quite some time. It's conservative. It's a conservative news network. Here, I can read you about the company real quick, just a short brief. So it's, let's see, hold on, give me 1 second. 1 second. Oh gosh, am I freezing? Oh no. Am I freezing now? All right, so Newsmax media properties reaching more than 40 million Americans regularly through the Newsmax channel and all its other counterparts. Forbes calling Newsmax a news powerhouse. Through its media outlets, Newsmax champions a free press, one that provides Americans with balanced coverage, diverse viewpoints, and open debates on the issues affecting our lives. Again, conservative, all about free speech. Hold on, give me 1 second. This is the website right here. From Newsfronts, Politics, Opinion, The Wire, Books. There's a lot going on here, as you know. All right. And I'm just actually pretty surprised. But it has been gaining a lot of attention. This is what news is all about. with a little bit of truth. Yes, exactly. All right, with a little bit of exposing and knowing what is really going on when others, in my opinion, like to mask the truth and throw a lot of propaganda around and brainwash people. Just speculating here. But yeah, so as extremely massive, and good for them. Good for them. But I, of course, would like to think that maybe there might be a little bit more action for tomorrow in pre-market, and maybe they'll find a top somewhere in the hundreds before coming back down. As you know, IPOs like to just exhaust itself once the offering is over and everybody has took their gains. You know, they profited off the listing, made their millions or whatever, and then starts to sell off and try to find its true value, and yeah, find a proper bottom, so that from there investors can find an attractive price to get back in and start the actual trading of the stock. The top the top is at $107. $107. Let me go here. Maybe this. Hopefully it's the same thing. Give me 1 second here. 1 second here. Look at the chart real quick on Webull. Yeah, look, oh my god, I can't wait to get a new computer. My goodness. So here on Webull, it says there that it actually reached a high of 107.99. So $107.99 for pulling back down and consolidating. So you could already see here the 9-day period moving average just crossing underneath the 21, and the moving averages are getting tight. So once it starts to cross back down, as you can tell, the MACD here had started a bearish divergence here at this point, traveling down, trying to actually again consolidate. And shoot, who knows if it will actually go for another round, because we've seen IPOs go crazy and not only just run for one day, would run multiple days. We'll see how huge Newsmax is. So yeah, ticker symbol NMAX. NMAX, Newsmax. The new Cinemax from news. What is this? INMWMNN NMAX. Newsmax. I can't see it. I'm watching. Oh, okay, yeah. There you go. Yeah, correct. Correcto mundo. As a matter of fact, I should be editing that and putting the ticker symbol up there. I'll do it later. No, I could do it now. But yeah, so that's going on. In 2 days, you'll have Liberation Day. Then you have the tariffs that will be imposed on no countries, 15%. Who knows? Maybe 20%. Some countries are working with the tariffs, like South Korea, China. I don't know if it's Europe. Oil is slightly up. Gold is once again hitting new all-time highs. Just officially, as of 20 minutes ago, gold has hit a new all-time high of $3,138.19. That's quite extraordinary. Silver at $34 currently. Platinum at 996. Palladium at $990. Copper futures at $5.06. Um, but yeah, I don't necessarily deal with IPOs. Um, I mean, I would have loved to have jumped onto that IPO, but we obviously missed the boat, and I wouldn't consider chasing that. Um, what's my Shaq rookies worth? Shaq rookies. Is Shaq rookies in gold? Shaq rookie card. Somebody is trying to sell their Shaq rookie card for $4,000. So it's getting up there. I think it's almost as much as an ounce of gold. Well, that's one of them. Not sure which one you have, but look at look at this one. A classic draft pick, Shaquille O'Neal auto for $500,000. What? That is crazy. There's no way. A 1992 classic draft pick, 500, Shaquille O'Neal auto RC PSA 10 Hall of Fame. Congratulations, you have just received this extremely limited classic autograph card. Wow. So yeah, this person, and this is pre-owned for $500,000. Delivery is free, but the estimated tax is a whopping $44,375. Yo, that is insane, bro. What? But yeah, look at that one, huh? Sheesh. This is another pre-owned card here with a PS rating of 9.5, number 442 from the 1992 to 1993 NBA Hoops. It says here Orlando Magic. So yeah, $4,000. I actually don't have any. I actually don't have any cards except Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. You know what's crazy? As a young kid, um, I had collector's cards. I had sports. There goes honey. I had baseball. I even had WWF cards, wrestler cards, and as a kid, ruined these cards and not knowing how much it probably would have been had I gotten the card signed by one of my favorite um, wrestlers, The Undertaker. I'll actually show you which one it is. Let me see, Undertaker card rookie. What is it? I know exactly which one it was too. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Let's see, which one was it? I believe it was this one. Yes, it was this one. A Beckett, The Undertaker, 1991. This is a German. What? German rookie card? I don't know if this is German. I believe it was this one. Exactly this one. Yeah, wow. It's selling for $663. Look at that. That is insane. I can't believe I ruined that card, dude. Me and my kid self, not knowing anything. I'm here just drawing on them and everything, and I'm so sad. If I would have gotten it, if I would have just known just to collect them, oh boy, would have been worth a lot. Actually, no, it wasn't this one. Oh no, wait, no, no, I think it was this one. It was actually this card. And this is the one right here. Wow. Yep. This is exactly the one that I had. Frick. I have Pokemons, but I have like the newer cards, like probably from 2 years ago. And I have Yu-Gi-Oh cards too from a couple of years ago. My buddy's sister married the Undertaker. Your buddy's sister? You're not talking about Sarah, are you? Because that would be crazy. That would be, oh my God. Because I remember him being with Sarah, but now she's with Michelle McCool. Oh, Michelle McCool. I don't know why I was thinking about Sarah, but Michelle McCool. Wow, that is badass. That is badass. Man. My friend's Jeff. I met her. She's awesome, but I know him, not her or Mark. McCool. McCools are cool. Awesome people. McCools. That's like the best. That's like one of the best last names you could ever have. McCool. Imagine having a name Cool McCool. Like, look at that. Sheesh, if I could just go back in time, man. I'm actually pretty sad about that. Gary, what's up? Check out the GameStop website for cards. See if they have them. For which one? Let's go to GameStop.com. Let's go to GameStop.com. Would you like to go to GameStop.com? Yes, you'd like to go to GameStop.com? Absolutely. Absolutely. Collectibles. Where should we go? Collectible? Oh, trading cards. They actually have PSA card grading? Wait, hold on. I'm going in here right now. Not sponsored. They're, by the way, on a side note, there was a IPO that was mentioned last week. I forget who it was. I think it was Fishy. And the IPO is actually, the ticker symbol is actually WTF. What the f? What the f? What the f? And I didn't even know. I did not even know that there was a stock, and based in Hong Kong, by the way, apparently. So maybe this will be the next HKD, in my opinion. Let me just pull that up right now on Weeble real quick. Watton Financial Limited. All right, you can see here. I think it's tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow's the expected listing date here. How do I? Okay, wait a minute. I think I need to go. I need to go. Was it screen? Oh wait, I think it's markets. I gotta go to markets. Then I gotta go to IPO. Find WTF. I can't find it. Oh shoot. Upcoming. I can't find. Hold on. Filed. Unless it's listed already. Let's see. Does anybody see WTF? I'm bugging out right now. Where is it? Oh man, I can't see it. Shoot. Available. Yeah, I guess not. Oh, right here. Okay, I found it. So Watton Financial Limited, the offering price was set to be between $4 and $6 a share. The shares offered is 5 million, and the offer amount is at 34,500,000. For Newsmax, it was at $10 offering price. The shares that were offered was 7,500,000 shares, and the offer amount was at 75 million. So, yeah. Let's see if can I double click on that. So it's not listed yet, and I'm pretty sure once market opens, I think this is set to go off. Now I want scooping some WTF. it could jump, 10, 20, depending if you know what, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if WTF does become a massive IPO runner. And not only that, because we did check, we did take a look at the prospectus for for WTF, and wait, let me go back. Let me go back and see this. Wanted financial. Okay, thank you. Where is it? I can't. Oh shoot, I forgot how to do it. Where you go and you can take a look at the prospectus, the filing. But I can't do it. Hold on. How do you do that? Is it here? Financials, insiders, all securities. So look, see, it says here the name Watton Financial Ltd. 0000 null, Hong Kong. There's no exact address for this, which is interesting. And then there's a number 852-285-31818. Watton Financial, an investment holding company mainly engaged in the provision of financial services. The company operating its businesses through subsidiaries including Watton Securities International Ltd, WSI, and Watton Technology International, WTI. Watton Securities International Ltd is principally engaged in the provision of securities brokerage services for securities and software licensing and related support services. Watton Technology International is mainly engaged in providing software licensing and related support services. So there you go. There you have that. And yeah, so Hong Kong, even though they not say that it's not from Hong Kong, but I still say that it's a Hong Kong IPO. Just like what happened 3 years ago, if you can remember the summer of Hong Kong IPOs, HKD, MEGL. Uh, Man, there was so many. There was a list. If y'all can remember. Um, what did I say? MEGL. Remember MEGL. I remember. I remember GCT. I think it was GCT. G GCT. Giga Cloud Technology. Yeah, that one too. I remember this beast here when it IPO'd. Look at this. When it opened up from $12.51. Wait, no, $19.21, and it went as high as $62. Then, if you can remember MEGL, when that when that sucker opened, remember that one? Opened that around when was it? What? No. What was it? Where's the IPO at? It actually got a dividend. I didn't even know that. Where did it open to? It did not open at no $200. Oh, because it had a split. Oh, okay, okay. Now it makes sense. It makes sense now. I just gotta look at where it split. Where did it split? Where did it split? It split somewhere. Okay, so this was a 1 for 4. A 1 for 4 split. So it was $50. It was $50. So that is what, $50 open, and then went as high as $982.84. $982.84 divided by 4. So MEGL had gone from $50 IPO listing and went as high as $245.71. That was another massive one. I remember that one. And then you got HKD. HKD. Still hanging on. I'm surprised. But you can remember that one. That was like from $12 all the way to $2,555 a share. That was like the most craziest, monstrous Hong Kong IPOs ever listed on to the Nasdaq. No, the New York Stock Exchange actually. That is wild. So, pretty much the whole point is, in speculation, of course, is if WTF or what the fuck is going to be the next HKD, MEGL, GCT, any of those Hong Kong IPOs that happened in 2022. What if this is the new HKD, the new Hong Kong IPO of 2025, about to be listed tomorrow at $4 to $6 a share. Not financial advice. Always do your research at all times, and always be very careful when dealing with IPOs such as that. That doesn't really quite seem like it's too good to be true. and you don't want to be the one catching the rise and holding the bag afterwards, which would be pretty devastating for those that would decide to do something like that. Yeah, DJT when that went live, when that changed from DWAC to DJT, I think that was the most craziest rally ever. We can look back in time when that happened. Yeah. When was it? Was it here? I think it was here, if I'm not mistaken. Right around January of 2024. This thing jumping from around $16 to almost $60, dropping down, having some swings and consolidating, and then from here, from March 19, at $32, going as high as 79.38. Was it here? Hold on. Now I'm confused. Okay, this was DWAC, and I guess this was DJT around here, around the beginning of 2024. Okay, let me just double check and make sure. When did DWAC? Okay, so it was March 26th. It was March 26th that happened, when that happened. So March 26th, around here. Okay. So pretty much the announcement way early, around the beginning of January of 2024, and then the announcement here made official on the 19th of March. And then on the 26th here, going as high as 79.38 before the ticker symbol change. And that was pretty much the buy the rumor, and then the sell the news afterwards. Everything just started to drop down from here, from $21 or $22, and then coming back up. Just seeing massive swings up and down, left and right. And it's crazy because DJT does like to have these massive swings on the larger time frame. Oh, DZ, thank you. It's always good to see you on here, man. Hopefully you're enjoying your Monday night and prepared for the next day as we get closer and closer to Liberation Day. Hope to hear what you think about Liberation Day and the upcoming tariffs, and what to expect for tomorrow. And also, yeah, man, when you go on stream tomorrow, yeah, man, check out Newsmax. That IPO was massive, dude. $14 at the open, all the way to as high as $107.99. So there might be, I don't know, there might be a round two as soon as pre-market open. Well, help Benjamin in the house. What is going on, mi amigo? How are you doing? Let's just take a look one more time at this monstrosity of a run of this IPO listing of Newsmax. Here at $14 started the listing. Traded all the way into the after hours and hit a high of 107.99. So so imagine that. Imagine getting into something like this, throwing in a couple of thousand. Oh gosh. Missing out on that. And then on top of that, I just mentioned about another IPO that's being listed tomorrow, apparently from Hong Kong. There's no exact address or anything like that, but it could be one of those Hong Kong IPOs like we saw with HKD back in 2022. So that's just speculation, in my opinion, not financial advice. All right. Just to be clear, all right, guys. Just to be clear, how's everything with you, Benjamin? Tell me, how was your weekend? And how is life going? How is trading? Again, thank you for hitting the like, day zero. We'll soon be able to return the favor tomorrow when you stream. All right, so DJT again here, as you can see in the larger time frames, the massive swings that it has gone through in the history of trading. And you know when they say when in doubt, zoom out. But obviously, it's all running, with the market sentiment. It is bearish. You do have the 50 EMA underneath the 200 EMA, which seems like it's actually slowing down in momentum to the downside here. Possibly trying to find a bottom once again here at around 18 and change. Let's see where DJT is right now as we speak on the 24-hour market, because I want to be sure. Maybe we are getting a bounce already. Oh, here it is. Okay, look, it's so it's actually slowly approaching $20 a share. So it must have definitely found a bottom here at around 19, the range between $18.50 and $19 a share. And you can definitely see here on the 5-minute chart where it did see a golden cross or a bullish crossover, and the other smaller day period moving averages here all bouncing all together. So it could be that it's gaining momentum to the upside, and we could see DJT possibly break over $20, especially if, let's see, how did SPY close today? Wow, massive, unexpected here. Wow, it took a huge bounce off of a low of $546.87 SPY. Just, my gosh, just non-stop rising. And breaking out here towards the afternoon, maybe heading towards power hour to 560.71. Goodness gracious, what a gain. And then a sell-off right as we closed and went into the aftermarket hours, consolidating, selling off little by little here to hold around 557. If it has a hard time breaking back over 558, then that will definitely be the peak, and we'll probably see this start to turn back down and maybe test 554 around that level as support. If it loses that, then you have 552 and so forth, and then it'll be another swing from the top back down to 550 maybe. So keep a close eye on that and how it would affect everything else in the stock market, including crypto. Now, like I said before, Just be sure to use Bitcoin as a reference, all right? As your reference as to what's happening overall in the financial market. Because if Bitcoin were to, let's say, break out from here, from what the price action looks like right now, and it heads back to 84,000 and so forth, then you may be looking at a green day in the markets. But again, if it you know if it weakens and it can't break over 83,000 at the moment and falls right below the 200-day period EMA, then you might just see this come back down and test these previous levels of support, 81,500 and so forth. And then you'll see futures follow at the same time. So when you take a look at Bitcoin here in the 5-minute and then go to the SPY futures, you can see that there is a similar algorithm in trading. So you can see that little consolidation, a little bounce here, but then a little peak here. And if we take a look at the NASDAQ here, it's all pretty much the same thing. China, Hang Seng. What up, my G? What up, Lewis? Benjamin? Good brother, 4-4. Today can't complain. So you are 4-4. Nice streak. Got your eyes on GME and Tesla for earnings coming up. Oh, Tesla earnings coming up. Oh, right. Yeah, Lewis, I'm chilling. Just doing a quick stream before I get off here at 11 o'clock and get ready, take a shower, and get ready for bed for work tomorrow. Yeah, so China seems like it's climbing up a little bit. Let's look at Japan here real quick. Oh, I hear that. Yeah, no. Let's see. Stocks stabilize. Gold hits record before Trump tariff reveal. All right, so let's just read the key points real quick. All right, you got bond yields falling, yen, the Japanese yen gaining as safe havens garner demand. Oil eases from 5-week high as traders weigh slow down risks. As you know, oil had jumped up from 68, almost $69 to almost $72 a barrel. Aussie slips ahead of RBA monetary policy decision, and spot gold hitting a record high at $139.78 per ounce. Okay. All right. So reading this here real quick. I see the hearts. I love you too. Asian equities rising following Wall Street's overnight gains, while gold hitting an all-time peak and treasury yields falling as markets await for the details on U.S. President Donald Trump's reciprocal tariffs. Japanese yen strengthening. Kai Supreme and Grand Supremo with the flames. Everybody with the flames on chat. Welcome back, Kai Supreme, to the Lion's Den. Always good to see everybody on here. Jump on late and see what the deal is. If you guys have any questions and anything to share, feel free to do so. Any information is gladly appreciated for all of us to share and to talk about here. Salute to you. So we got the Japanese yen once again strengthening as traditional havens assets drew demand. All right, the Australian dollar under pressure. Regional stocks finding some respite on the first day of April after being battered in March by worries that Trump's trade war could trigger stagflation or even a U.S. recession. You know what? And just talking about that, um, then you have investors apparently nervously awaiting for April 2nd, which Trump has dubbed as Liberation Day, when he has promised to unveil a massive reciprocal tariff plan. How massive could it be? How massive could it get? That is something that I am wanting to find out. Okay? So, as a matter of fact, real quick, because I want to go back to ChatGPT and find out, because I was talking about that here. All right, let's see. So there was a post on Twitter, and the person who wrote this had said here, people should read history about what happened to the U.S. economy after quote unquote broad tariffs were imposed. So he listed here, money don't sleep. It definitely don't. It definitely don't. So while you sleeping, you're still making money. The money printer goes. It's music to your ears while you sleep. It's the sound that you like to hear in your house when you're counting all of those zeros. And that's going to be all of us sooner than you think. Just manifest and manifesting. And oh my God, Benjamin, my guy, King Benjamin, with the gifted, 5 gifted. Thank you, good sir, for all the support, for the love since the beginning. This means a lot. And this goes without saying, congratulations to all those that got gifted by the Benjamin Israel, Avila Spectrum, Triple H15, Jaden Johnson. My man Ramiro Garcia, I haven't seen it in a long time. He is considered to be a OG from when I first started streaming on my channel back in 2022. Ramiro has been around since the GTII and Finger days. And Gary, you have been gifted by Benjamin Israel. So you have, yeah, man, you have been selected. You are a member once again. So congratulations, Gary Cosme. Thank you once again, Benjamin, for that and showing the love and support. My man, thank you. I'll definitely have something in store really soon, later on. So just a random thought. I feel like I need to put some SPF on my bald head, because that day when the temperature had reached 81 degrees in New York City, I kid you not, that sun was out not even that long, and my head feels tender as hell. I have no idea how this even happens, but it thing hurts like a mother. This sucks. Ugh. Welcome back, Zelly. Good morning. But yeah, anyways, so just breaking down here in history, each historical tariff and its economic consequences. So let's just jump on this and starting with number one, the 1890 tariff, also known as the McKinley tariff, which led to the Panic of 1893. Ladies and gentlemen, the McKinley tariff raised import duties by nearly 50%, aiming to protect domestic industries. This led to higher consumer prices and reduced trade, causing economic strain. And the Panic of 1893 followed, marked by a severe economic depression, bank failures, and mass unemployment. Number two, the 1930 tariff, also known as the Smoot-Hawley tariff, which led to the Great Depression. The Smoot-Hawley tariff increased tariffs on over 20,000 goods. Foreign nations retaliated, reducing U.S. exports and worsening the economic downturn. Many economists believe it deepened and prolonged the Great Depression. Number three, the 1971 tariff, Nixon shock, stagflation, and lost decade. So this is when Nixon imposed a 10% import tariff alongside the end of the gold standard, also known as the Bretton Woods collapse. The US dollar devalued, leading to rising inflation, and this contributed to the 1970s stagflation with low growth and high inflation. Next, coming in at number four. Can't do it. Thank you, Benjamin. Coming in at number four, 2018 tariff, the Trump tariffs, which led to the market crash, down negative 19%. So the Trump administration imposed tariffs on China and other trading partners. Retaliatory tariffs hit U.S. industries, increasing costs and disrupting supply chains. The S&P 500 dropped 19% in late 2018, reflecting investor fears of a trade war, which is something that is kind of similarly happening, which is what a lot of investors are afraid of. But yeah, so it is to be determined. That will be unveiled pretty soon, shortly, tomorrow, or no, on the 2nd of April. So the reciprocal tariffs to be determined. So if broad reciprocal tariffs are imposed, history suggests that higher consumer prices, which include imported goods, become expensive. Retaliation from other countries hurting U.S. exports, market uncertainty, and potential economic contraction. Depending on severity, it could trigger stagflation, a recession, or a major market correction. So if history, it says here, ChatGPT, all right, speculation here, not financial advice. If history is any guide, these tariffs may not end well for the U.S. economy. Markets and businesses typically dislike trade restrictions as they disrupt global supply chains and increase costs. What is your take, and do you see a way that this could play out differently? Did someone say Trump? Yes, we do say Trump over here. We literally are going to make America again with these reciprocal tariffs. I will impose a whopping 50% reciprocal tariffs for all countries. They're all going to pay out of pocket, and they're going to pay us real good with a lot of zeros. And we're going to make America wealthy again. You're going to see it. You're going to see a lot of changes. A lot of changes. You're going to see it. We're going to be rich. And we wouldn't even know. We wouldn't even know what to do with all that money, quite frankly. But as a result of this, we have to go through some bumps, some ups and downs. We're going to go through a heck of a ride. It will be painful, but quite frankly, it's going to be a wonderful one, because at the end of the day, at the end of all of this, we're all going to be rich and we're going to be wealthy. Not financial advice. So, yeah, for some reason I can't even come out the right way anymore. I don't know. I gotta probably I gotta make my voice a lot more raspier. But anyways, thank you, Trump. Yeah. So, if history repeats itself, I'm gonna make sure that we become the history. We're gonna be the heroes of this history. Yes, without a doubt. And I tell you once again that I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Let's see. I want to see. So, let's see how the 2025 reciprocal tariffs could play out differently under certain conditions. So here is ChatGPT's take. Potential negative outcomes, a historical pattern. So higher costs for consumer and businesses. So if tariffs apply broadly to imports, everyday goods and raw materials will become more expensive. This could fuel inflation at a time when interest rates are still relatively high. So remember that. Number 2, it says retaliatory trade war. So countries like China, Europe, Mexico will likely respond with their own tariffs, reducing U.S. exports. And this would hurt industries like agriculture, manufacturing, and tech, leading to job losses. Number 3, the stock market decline. So investors hate uncertainty. Tariff escalations could lead to a sell-off in the S&P 500 and other risk assets. If corporate earnings takes a hit, we could see a bear market similar to 2018, which was negative 19%, or worse. Number 4, stagflation risk. A combination of high inflation and slowing growth, which is also known as stagflation, could emerge, much like in the 1970s, and the Fed would then face a tough choice: either keep rates high and risk a recession, or cut rates and risk a weaker dollar. Speaking of the dollar, that is something that we have been seeing happen in a long time. So we want to say somewhere around the beginning of this year, on the 13th of January, where we saw the dollar index at around 110.17 and hitting as low as 103.20, I believe. So even though it is kind of picking back up a little bit, yeah, the dollar index doesn't really seem quite happy with these results. And what happens if the dollar index continues to fall, right? So let's see. Just real quick, when we can go over once more what would happen if the DXY falls due to the reciprocal tariffs Let's just ask this question and speculation and see what does ChatGPT say about this. So, if the U.S. dollar index falls due to reciprocal tariffs, several key economic and market impacts could unfold. So you have number one, which is inflationary pressures in the U.S. because a weaker dollar makes imports more expensive, increasing costs for businesses and consumers, and which could add inflationary pressure, making it harder for the Fed to consider rate cuts. Number two, boost for commodities. So this is where the commodities against a weak dollar benefit. So things like gold, silver, and oil would go up high and become more expensive in USD terms. Gold and silver prices could rise as investors seek a hedge against currency devaluation, which is something that have been mentioned about many times. You already know. You guys have been in the tweetas and in other forums and pretty much listening to the news on what's been happening with many nations that have been trying to go through a de-dollarization process, and of course the BRICS nations, in my opinion, that are trying to get as many countries as possible to become part of this de-dollarization and move away from the dollar and let the dollar drop like a rock. So keep in mind of that. And of course, oil prices may increase, raising costs for transportation and manufacturing. Then you have number three for stronger emerging markets. So many EMs have dollar denominated debt. So a weaker USD could ease their debt burden, and their exports could become more competitive if their currencies appreciate against the USD. All right. So euro, Japanese yen, and so forth. They could definitely take advantage of that, and you know, who knows? Maybe some countries will flourish and reevaluate their currency. Foreign investment in U.S. assets. So if the dollar weakens, foreign investors may find U.S. stocks and bonds cheaper, leading to capital inflows. So obviously, um, buy low, sell high. However, if tariffs slow down the economic growth, investors may avoid risk assets, potentially impacting equities. Equities like NASDAQ, SPY, QQQ, and so forth. Um, it could trigger a loss of confidence in the U.S. assets. The Fed may need to adjust monetary policy, so for example, raising rates or reducing the balance sheet reductions to stabilize the currency. A weak dollar combined with high tariffs could hurt domestic companies reliant on imports. So, for example, retailers like Walmart, I want to say Costco too, involved in that. And this is an interesting one. So, number 7, Bitcoin and digital assets could rally. So, theoretically, if the dollar weakens, alternative stores of value like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other digital assets could see increased demand. This would align with speculation about the U.S. potentially shifting to a digital asset backed system in the future, which has been something that has been talked about for a very long time. All right. And I feel like it is inevitable. Let's see. Wait, let me read this comment. Don't go start smoking menthol to get a scratchy voice. Oh, hell no, no. I would like to preserve, as I'm rubbing my throat right now, I'd like to preserve this voice and not ruin it. But, heck, this is all information that I'm pretty sure is beneficial, and reminding you, not financial advice, reminding you in where to store your money, into where to go to in case if the dollar devalues, if it drops, and these tariffs, these reciprocal tariffs take effect, and you see things just start going crazy. Shit hits the fan. We already know the deal. So, like GCA says here, I'm gonna be rich too. I want to be rich with you guys, and that is the goal ultimately in this whole uh, deal with the markets and us as retail, to take advantage of these situations as we get closer and closer to the actual inevitable, which is in fact a market correction that we probably have never seen for in a long time, even before we were even born. But just keep in mind of these stocks. I mean, shoot, look for example, silver, right? Silver, we have silver inching and inching ever higher towards the last high at around 34.50 an ounce. 35 is definitely still on the table. I feel like there is a possibility for silver to hit $35 an ounce, perhaps this month of April. And who knows? Maybe a lot of people will start looking at this as a big investment and seeing the markets with all this uncertainty, and no other choice but to make their decision and go towards safer assets, commodities. And you already know what Benjamin saying, we ain't leaving till tendies come. Those tendies, and it's what's gonna help us. So either shit hits the fan, market drops, and we see those tendies, or we see those tendies, markets drop, and then giving us the opportunity to get in at such a beautiful discount, a 99% discount on a lot of stocks that we know that eventually will still be around, will still grow over time, because those are the stocks that are the necessities. There are the you know there are the companies that keep continuing that wheel turning. But anyways, remember AMC pumped to $11 on May 15, 2024. Yeah, we remember that. We definitely remember that. And May is not that far. We just have 2 months away from May. And speaking of AMC, we'll take a look real quick and see how AMC is looking on the charts. As you can see, AMC had closed today at $2.87. Mind you, the volume has been slowly dying out. Today we had a volume of 6.05 million shares traded, as per TradingView here. The trading day before, on Friday, was 6.58 million. Before that was 7.07 million, and before that was 8.91 million. So you can see the last 4 trading days officially we have seen a decreased amount of volume. All right, so the more volume that dries out, I feel like that is eventually going to end up resulting in big volume coming in at a moment where investors or institutions find AMC at a perfect price level or range to finally get back into and start trading the stock back to those levels where it actually belongs. Or we could just have a MOAS. So you can see it here, slowly climbing down a little bit, testing these previous levels here back in April of last year. So mind you, here you have, and let me draw a box for you. Here, the last time AMC had reached these levels at around 280 and below was around April a year ago, 2024. And before that massive run up that took place alongside with GME, bringing AMC from as low as 238, which is the 52-week low, or the all-time low officially, and bringing AMC all the way as high as 13. Wasn't it 13? I could have sworn it was 13. Let me see. Yes, it was $13.30. All right. If it happened before, the cycle can once again repeat itself, and we're pretty much at that point where history can repeat itself. Cycles can once again take place, restart, get a huge run up, and you guys would have to be ready, because if this is indeed the bottom, then this is the perfect time to accumulate. Do what you got to do. Not financial advice, but also if you're going into options, how it's been slowing down within this range, this will be the perfect time to be like, well, you know what? And of course, give yourself time. Give yourself a lot of time. You don't want you going degenerate and going next week expirations and then at $20 strike. Makes no sense unless you know something that we don't. But it's good to at least give yourself some time. As let me look at AMC here on Webull. See here, it's 0.35% in the green, currently at $2.88, just 1 cent up. All right, nothing to be excited about, right? Because you know what? Quite frankly, I won't be excited until I actually see a 350% gain in 1 minute or 5 minutes, rather than seeing AMC gain 0.35% in the whole day. We already know what we want to see. We already know what it will look like when things are taking place, and we know when it's actually going to start. You will be surprised, but you must be prepared for when it does. All right. We can't let things like that psych us out. All right. We have to be disciplined in terms like this, because we already know what we dealt with a couple of years ago, and we already know how it feels like, the euphoria and all of that emotion. All right. And we just have to know how to properly manage our risks, set our limits, and know when you are good to be like, you know what? This is it. I got what I needed. I am not going to go overboard. All right. I'm not going to be greedy. All right. I made what I have to make. And that's it. Call it a day. And you can sit back and relax on that beach chair somewhere in the islands, Barbados, Puerto Rico, wherever you want to be at, knowing the fact that you have successfully defeated the shorts, and you major tendies. Not financial advice, but this is pretty much like a little lesson. And for us to remember that we should never trade with our emotions, but know that we will eventually win, and we're going to win. And then we're going to then do the right thing and use those tendings properly and reinvest in yourself and reinvest so that you can be financially free and stable and be able to live the life that you always wanted. And that's all I gotta say about that. Barbados. That's interesting that I actually mentioned that. Wow, I didn't even know that, dude. Yes, Barbados. Shout out to Barbados. So catch this dip and get ready to rip. That's gonna be the slogan. Catch this dip and get ready to dip. I mean, get ready to rip. But yeah, not only AMC, all right, because we've found a lot of gems, and again, I really wish this for everybody. I'm praying, I'm manifesting. We already know that we've seen the signs. We've seen everything that's happening right now with the U.S., the economy. Everything is aligning. Everything is being set. It's all pretty much priced in with whatever is about to happen, and we are prepared. So yeah, amen to that, and yeah, manifest your tendies exactly. But what I was gonna say, not only AMC, GME, you have a plethora of other stocks that have been heavily shorted. Um, Look, you have even Lucid. Lucid. If we could go to Lucid real quick on the 24-hour chart, mind you, this has been seeing a lot of that in the past. Thankfully, thank God, Lucid has not gone. And this is knock on wood. So everybody knock on whatever you have in your house that's made out of wood, because I wouldn't want to see this happen. I want to believe that it will never happen, but Lucid has never gone through a reverse stock split, and I feel like it's at a specific level where it has been ranging for a long time, since October of 2024, and there's been a lot of news coming in. The news of their Lucid Gravity that just got revealed in New York this past weekend. And, with a lot of things that's been happening with Tesla, and it's really hurting them really bad. And all the threats that's been happening to their dealers. Mind you, like, there's a lot of them out there that are willing to sell their Tesla, and this is just, of course, my opinion. And you're seeing the effects here happen here ever since the middle of December. All right, so the middle of December had a high of. Remember, this was at a high of $488.50. Look at where Tesla's at now. To 50. Well, actually, as a matter of fact, hold on. Tesla is currently. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute. Okay, I might have spoken too soon. What is this rally here? And the 24-hour trading hours, 24-hour markets, excuse me. Wow, this was actually at 243.36 at a low during market hours, This is actually jumping really fast. Is there any news right now? Let's see. Tesla deliveries likely fell as competition Musk backlash surge. Whoa, okay. Is the spy doing the same exact thing? Let me check the spy real quick. No, it's actually still stagnant. It's still consolidating. Not doing much, but this is really surprising. What do you guys think about that? What are your thoughts on Mullen that jumped to 17 cents and back down? Damn. Mullen is, in my opinion, I've never looked back. I stopped looking at Mullen after the first reverse stock split. As a matter of fact, since they had mentioned and announced a second one, I was like, no. Very unfortunate. It was very bad in how the CEO had managed things and how a lot of people have gotten hurt in their portfolios getting into the stock. Four reverse stock splits, probably five. Are you kidding me? Their portfolios, their positions are completely just fractions, and it sucks. Now, I mean, like, if you want to be able to, oh my god, dude, I'm sorry, Tesla is exploding right now, like bigly, over 2% right now in the green. So from a close of 259.16 to right now trying to break past 265 bucks. What is this all about? I don't know. We'll find out later. But Mullen, we can take a look at Mullen right now. Again, through how many reverse stock splits? Four, five. One, two, three, four. The fifth one being February 18, the one for 60. All right, so obviously my take on it's completely disgusting how this how the CEO carried this company and how this traded. Look at that. I have so much to zoom in on a 24-hour chart, and every single 24-hour candle or daily candle bearish, 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 bearish. Here ending up with a bear wick and a hammer candle facing down, where this literally destroy itself. Eric G, yo yo yo, welcome back, the legendary Eric G, aka E Martin, Ricky Martin's brother. Welcome back. All right, look, we have so many lawsuits in place. We have so many law firms here, um, you know, against Mullen. A lot of people imagining how much money that these investors have put into Mullen, losing pretty much almost everything you can think of. It's really sad. I hate to see it. But after that announcement of the second reverse split, I already know. I was like, you know what, this is not going good at all. And especially after the fact, when they go through the reverse stock split. Sorry, I hit the mic by accident. Then they want to come up with the news of all these deliveries and all this overhype on how much they made and who they're selling it to, when there's no effect at all of what's happening. Now, give given the fact given the fact that Mullen, and let me just go real quick because I want to see what Weeble has here in terms of their numbers, their statistics. Currently Mullen's market cap. Look at this, Benjamin and everybody else. Mullen's market cap is at $385.73 thousand. with a free float of 3.48 million shares, 3.67 million of those being outstanding. Are you kidding me right now? You got a 52-week high of $47,100 per share and a 52-week low of just 9.5 cents. All of this just makes absolutely no sense. If in fact, and look, this was what had a little pop here during after pre-market hours, here from 10 cents all the way to 17.5 cents. Yeah, that was a little gain right there. You could catch, theoretically you could catch the hiccups that it goes through for a little bit of a gain. But overall, this is just pretty much on the road to delistment, on the road to the OTC. As a matter of fact, I feel like they should just literally completely just delist the stock and never see it again. But that's just me. That's just me. That's just my opinion, right? So that's why instead we focus on a real EV company. Well, we have a few that we've been looking at for a while. All right, so you have Lucid, and you have Rivian. And mind you, we did go over that previously. So trying to see what that thing is right now. What I see right now. So we were talking about Tesla, the Tesla killer, right? So you had Lucid Motors and Rivian. We were talking about how the higher tariffs would be good for them because that would reduce the competition from the Chinese EVs like BYD and NIO and XPeng and Li Auto. So they really have to worry about that. And it would give the American EV makers a stronger foothold. They would get government support and incentives, like additional subsidies or incentives as part of the domestic EV manufacturing policies, and stronger pricing power. All right. But, there is also cons to that. But as of right now, that could look really good on Lucid and Rivian's part, as it's been trying to bounce back up from the middle of March, from when it was just under. As a matter of fact, no, when it was at $2, it has gone as high as $257, and now it's just ranging between $220, $245. There is an opportunity for Lucid to break out here and reach over 250 and see if it can actually break over this 200 EMA at 260. There is if I'm not mistaken, I think there might be a gap here somewhere, or it might have been filled. But obviously we have here the peak of I want to say between 340 and 360, around that range. So that would be the next resistance. If it stays under $1 too long, it would be delisted and go to the OTC market. Yeah, it's way down there, Benjamin. Way down there. I just think that there's no point. I mean, like, if someone were to, I mean, if there was something crazy that someone would randomly just dump into the stock $1 million, like, that would literally just break the stock. it would go up like crazy, and you would have to catch that run before the investor or the whale begins. I mean, starts to just pull that back, and I mean that would be wild. And you're talking about again a almost $400,000 market cap for a moment. This is like, and on top of that, not only would it delist because it's under a dollar, it's because it also has to be at a certain market cap for the stock to stay listed. So there's a couple of requirements just to stay compliant, you know. So, but anyways, damn, I need water. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Holy smokes. I do gotta say, let's see, Ben. Oh, Eric, you legend spacesuit on. Let's go. Oh snaps. So take a look at it on the weekly real quick. Let's spread this around here. Wonder if there was any more gaps here to follow, but I don't see any at all as of right now. Nope, no gaps. But like I said, and even on the weekly, it is in fact green on the week so far, as it did close up 4.31%, and you can see here there is a possibility of a breakout here on the RSI cloud, or just, the RSI in general. This breaks over, and we can get possibly Lucid going over 250. Excuse me. So what I was saying back earlier a while ago about what was happening with Tesla and their dealerships and all the protests and people, threatening to burn down Teslas and whatnot, hurting the company in a way. And I'm surprised I'm saying this because as I went back and looked at Tesla is actually going crazy to the upside. And mind you, this was at the bottom of 243.36 after market open today, and now it's just going crazy. Like, so I'm just trying to figure out what that's all about. Might be able to see it on the news here somewhere. I'm not too sure. Let me go ahead and quickly see what that's all about. Tesla. Okay, so where is earnings? Okay, so earnings will be on April 29th. So it's still a ways to go, just a month. But here it says 3 hours ago on Reuters, France car registrations down 14.54% in March. Tesla sales fall 36.83%. So since the start of the year, Tesla sales have declined by 41.08%, while the French market has shrunk by 7.83% over the same period. Wow. Then you have 7 hours ago on Barron's that that Tesla stock tumbles ahead of key delivery data, and it's about more than Musk and Trump. So not helping Tesla today was a target price cut from Wall Street. Stifel analyst Stefan Gengaro cut his price target to 455 from 474 while keeping his buy rating. It says here, Democrats' favorably rating on Tesla has plunged, creating near-term sales headwinds who wrote the analyst in a Sunday report. Musk, of course, has fallen out of favor with Democrats partly because of his close alignment with Trump and his position in the newly created Department of Government Efficiency. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Politics is part of the reason Tesla stock has had a wild, mostly downhill ride since Trump's January 20th inauguration. This week, some of the attention will turn away from Washington, D.C. and back to Austin, Texas, with Tesla's first quarter delivery results due out on Wednesday. Okay, there's delivery results. All right, so the Tesla's first quarter delivery results coming out on Wednesday, and coincidentally, Wednesday, April 2nd is Liberation Day, which is also where it unveils the tariffs. Okay, Tesla does not need to top analyst delivery estimates for the stock to rise. For the quarter, Wall Street expects 410,000 vehicles delivered, according to FactSet, up from about 387,000 delivered in the first quarter of 2024. Says here there is little chance deliveries will be that good. Wall Street estimates tend to grow stale. Not every analyst updates them at the same frequency. And the company compiled consensus from dozens of brokers is closer to 378,000 vehicles. All right. So what is... Let's see. Tesla responded to Twitter X drama by selling 1.8 million cars in 2023, up from 1.3 million in 2022. There was no growth in 2024, with Tesla selling roughly 1.8 million vehicles again. Selling more cars in 2025 would go a long way to help calm investors' nerves, but there is a lot of nerves in the Dems and all the protests that's happening here, so I don't know how that's going to play out. But this run up here, I don't know what this is all about. Maybe we'll find out later tomorrow morning. That was one heck of a rally here from 254 to 265 in less than 2 hours. And now with a potential pullback here. Lucid here on the 24-hour chart. On the 24-hour market, up just 1 cent. At 243. If we look at Rivian real quick, Rivian. You can see Rivian did close up just slightly in the green at 0.32% at 12.45. It is actually down just almost negative 1% at 12.35, so down 10 cents. Coming from a low of 11.69 to a high of 12.59. So we'll see what happens there. Momo in the chat. Oh my God, it's time for salads, burritos, and for glizzies. But we can't have a glizzy party without TP. How's everything with you, Momo? How are you doing? Yeah. It looks like the hand is trying to wrap around the burrito. Makes sense. Anyways, so let's see if we're gonna go back. Let's see G-Bucks. What is G-Bucks doing? What's up, bro? What are you doing, bro? What's going on, bro? Yo, G-Bucks. Todd Earhart, I think, is following G-Bucks. And G-Bucks actually closed today 670, up 11.30% in the green. So shout out to Todd Earhart, wherever he is at. Let him know I said what's up. And that, damn, G-Bucks is actually doing things here. GiveBucks details $212 million strategic investment, commits $212 million to an asset-based investment vehicle.